Let's make this Dollar Tree haunted house style Halloween decor piece. All right, so I have these two houses from Dollar Tree. They don't match, but that is okay. They come with a bunch of little furniture, so maybe if you wanted to make like a patio set for the outside, you could do that. So I'm going to use both of them, and I'm going to stack them. But I'm just showing you that you can attach them together, make like a whole little setup. So being that I'm going to attach them, I don't need roofs on both of them. So I'm taking the roof off of the bottom one there. It does, it's uneven when you do that. I tried to cut this piece off. It did not work well for me. Like you can see, I can get in there and start to cut it, but I can't get around the other side. And I didn't have a blade that can cut in the front. So what I'm gonna do is just put something in there, like a little shim. So I also have these canvas pieces from Dollar Tree. You can get these in black too, but I have them in white. But I have this one, and we're going to use that for like the porch balcony that goes in between the two. And then I have just a frame from one because I did a project for the other one, but you can use two of them or you can just use the frame like I did. So when they are stacked, they'll look like that. You can push them more towards the front if you want. I ended up pushing mine down towards the back, but it was easy to cut off the little pieces that join them up. It was harder to cut off the top part, but it was easier to cut off those. So it's not that big a deal if you leave those on, but it fits nice and snug into the canvas if you do cut them off. And then you see I have the frame there for the bottom one. So I'm going to use that for the bottom one. And then I'm going to use the one that has the actual canvas on it for the top one or between the two. But I'm going to spray paint all of the pieces black. I'm just giving it one coat of the spray paint. And then to make a bottom for the bottom piece there, I'm just going to use the cardboard that it came in. You can use like a little wood plank or something like that, but I just used that. And then I cut it two sides, glued it on, and then I just painted it black. Then I'm going to take also that cardboard too, just to make something to level out that piece in between. So I just cut that to size, folded it up because I just need that little tiny piece there. So I folded that up, glued that down. I ended up needing to cut two of those. So I did two till it was to the right level, and I just glued those on top of each other. So I glued one down to the house and then the other one on top of that. And then I gave it a little bit of black paint just in case you see it from the front. I glued the top house into the canvas like upside down so that it was kind of like a fence or something, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to put like just little pillars so that it, stays up stable. But I just got these little wooden dowels from Dollar Tree. They come in a pack, and I'm just playing around with the size until I get the right size. So it's always better to cut bigger than cut smaller because you can always just take a little bit off. And these cut easy with the scissors. So once you make sure it's not all wonky and lopsided and you have one good piece, then you just use that piece as a template to cut another piece. And then I painted those black too. Again, just one coat. I'm not worried about perfect coverage with this because it's like a old haunted house, so it can look like a little distressed. But I just put a ton of glue in there and then some glue on top, and then I just put that in there, and then you just let that dry, and then you'll have both of your stories. I couldn't find a fence. I wanted a little picket fence to put around it, so I couldn't find a fence, but Dollar Tree had these bag of bones, so it's like a little styrofoam bones. I'm just going to give them again one coat of paint just to give them like that dirty look. You want to be careful with those though because they are sensitive, so they can break. So don't be too rough with them. And then I have these little wooden skewers from Dollar Tree, and so we're just making the fence out of that. So I'm cutting it to size, and I did that around all of the pieces. I just cut the pieces to size, and then I cut the bones in half. So like the bonish like shape, if that makes sense, was up top, and then the other pieces on the bottom. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're lining up the bottom even. The top could be all up and down, but you want the bottom even because you need to glue that down to the canvas piece. So before I did the bottom part, I just put a little moss in there. So like it's grass, but like it has a little brown in it. So it's like it's dead grass. And then for little pieces of decor, I just have this pumpkin from Dollar Tree. They come on little skewers. I'm just going to give that a coat of black paint too, just to kind of darken it up. But you can play around with this and have like fun little colors and stuff. And then the house does come with little people. I gave that person a little bit of black paint too. I left an opening for the gate in the front there at the bottom. And then I'm just going to pop these tea lights. They come from Dollar Tree and they have a cute little flicker on them. And that is it. If you like, give it a big old thumbs up. And I'll see
Let's
you in the
make
next
this
one.
Halloween wall scones. Okay, so I have this right here. This comes from Dollar Tree. It's just a little plastic skull. This comes in different colors too, but I picked this one right here because I knew the light would shine through it best. But the plastic isn't really thick, so you can get one of the colored ones and probably achieve the same effect. So first, I just cut a little slit in there so that I can get my scissors in. And I'm just going to cut part of this. I'm not cutting it in half, but just the back end of the skull off so that it can lay flat. I just eyeballed it how I did it around, but you can trace out something and make sure yours is nice and flat. And then once that was done, that is really the major part of this right here. So I made sure that it was able to lay flat. And then I have these little faux lights from Dollar Tree. So they come in a pack of 3 and then they flicker kind of like a candle. You can get a solid light if you want. I think the flickering is great. So then to hang this, you can attach like a cute little rope or something and then just hang it by a nail. I'm going to hang mine with hooks. I didn't have any more clear hooks. So I was going to try to use the suction one, but it didn't stick to the wall. So I ended up using the white hook, or you could just hang it on a nail. But this is how it looks when the room is lit. And then this is how it looks when the lights are out. And I think both ways it looks so cute and just perfect and simple for Halloween. You don't have to do much, and it's only $1.25. So if you like, give it a big
Let's
old
make this
thumbs up.
easy. Dollar Tree Halloween tier tray. All right, so I have these packs of skulls. They like little baskets that you can use to put little treats in them, but we're going to use them for something else. They come in a pack of 4, and then they have the little handle. So I'm just going to pop the little handle off. They do have little holes in the side, but we don't have to worry about that because we won't see those. I spray painted it with 1 coat of the metallic gold spray paint because I wanted it to have like a rough look, so I didn't need it to have a full coverage. Now I have these 2 plates from the Dollar Tree, 1 big plate, 1 smaller plate, and you can get these in different colors, different prints. If you wanted to do the skulls all the way around the outside, you would need to grab you another pack, but we're going to do ours in the inside, kind of like a pedestal type plate. And then we're just going to position them and glue them down. You can use a strong glue too if you want to make sure everything is nice and together. But the Gorilla Hot Glue holds up really well. All right. And so once you're done with that, you have this. You can just use it just like that. It is a cute little Halloween tray to have, but we're going to make it a tier tray. So I have this candle holder also from the Dollar Tree. And they have different styles too if you want. But I grabbed this one because it was black and we didn't have to paint anything. So I'm just going to glue that down in the center. Again, if you wanted to use any other type glue, you can do that. And then I'm just going to put some glue there and make sure everything is centered with the top plate. I debated on leaving it just like that because it was nice and simple, but the original idea I had was to add these bats. So I did go ahead and do that. So they come in a pack of 4. They're like a little glitter on them, and they have these little clips. You can just pop those clips right off, and then it still has like a little stick there on it, and you can just glue those around. If you wanted the bats to kind of float out, you can get some wire and glue them to like a little thin wire. You can do so many different little cute things with this. You can add other things. You can add spiders, different things. But I just glued a few of those bats. And like I said, I popped that little piece off the back. And that was it. And I have a cute little Halloween tier tray. And this was so easy and so simple. And you can customize this and do this in different colors and different styles. I hope you liked. If you did, please give it a big old thumbs up and make sure to follow for more fun and easy
Found
DIYs.
these at Dollar Tree, and they are great for making those like faux stacked books. See, these are bigger. Before they used to have the crates and stuff that you would use and then try to make them look like the stacked books, but these are bigger, so they kind of look like the stacked books. So they have a little ribbon on it. It pops right off. If you're having a problem, just heat it up a little bit, loosen up the glue, and then just pop it off. I'm gonna paint mine all black. We're gonna do this for Halloween. You can leave the ridges not painted. Just go over and don't go in the creases like I did, and then that way you'll have more definition between the pieces, and you'll be able to see which ones are which better. But I wanted it
as dark as possible for Halloween. So I just did one coat, but once that dried, I went over the middle one with some Mod Podge, and then Dollar Tree has these cute little Halloween napkins, and they are 2-ply, so you'll just take it apart. And then I did the Mod Podge all the way around. You don't really have to if it's going to be sitting behind the shelf, but I did it all the way around. And I'm just going to take and use just one napkin to do this. But I placed the part right where I wanted it to kind of line up at, and then I went around the sides, cut off that top, and then kind of matched it up. But even though it's not the same, it's not repeating the same pattern in the front or the back, depending on which way you turn it, it does match up with the webs, if that makes sense. I just cut off the little black edge and then went around the other side and then let that dry. Try to be as neat as possible with the Mod Podge so you don't have to go back in later and do touch-ups. But once that dries, you can hit it with the top coat just to make sure everything seals in nice and easy. But that was it for that part, and it's just real easy, real simple. Like I said, just a little bit of Mod Podge, and then you do your little decoupage with that. And then once that dry, I came in and I took off all of the excess. To find the little lines, I just went in with my nail and just put a little crease in there so I knew where to cut away the excess. And that's when I saw that my little messy paint job with the Mod Podge did kind of leave some of the pieces on the other sections. But being that I painted the other sections black, it was real easy to cover up. But as long as your paint has good coverage, you should be able to cover up any little mistakes that you do make. So once I peeled off everything that could peel off, I came back in with that same jet black paint and I just did little touch-ups around just to finish that off. And then once that all dried, then I came back in with that same little ribbon that it originally came with. You can do like a cute little Halloween ribbon, something like that, but I just decided where I wanted the front to be, and then I just glued that back in place in the front and in the back just like it originally was. And then from here you can leave it just as is, but then I said let's add a little more Halloween touches to it. So I have these bats that I thought about putting on there. They come in a pack of 4, and then I have these little spiders. I didn't want the purple to be that vivid, so I just gave it one little coat of the same black paint, so it's like a little glitter type detail on the backs of the spiders there. But I did 2 of those. I painted it with just a little bit of black, and then I'm just going to glue those down. It's kind of like they're crawling over the books, if that makes sense. And you can do this with a combo of big spiders, little spiders, a bunch of different things. I did go a little heavy with the glue, but you can just touch that up with paint.